Good morning and welcome to the Harvard House Money Morsel, where we keep you up to date with what's happening in the markets and your money. I'm sitting today again with Michael Porter, Chief Investment Officer of Harvard House. Morning, Michael. Welcome.
Morning.
We saw yesterday that the auction of spectrum was finalised, and government actually banked significantly greater than expected. Michael, can you tell us what spectrum is and how it fits into our investment themes that we explained at the beginning of the year?
Yeah, thanks, Robin. Morning. Hello to everybody. I think it's a red letter day, Robin. Ring the bells on the church square. Honk your horns. The last time that spectrum was auctioned in this country was 17 years ago. And this has been one of Ramaphosa's key reforms, one of his key pillars of reforms. And it has been bogged down in litigation and delays and you name it for about 10 years. So the fact that it's actually finally come to fruition, I think, is really something to celebrate. So spectrum is really the radio frequencies on which cell phones work. You get different bands. I'm not going to go into a science lesson, but you get different bands, and obviously different wavelengths can carry more data or less data. So basically, the more spectrum allows cell phone operators to really invest in their networks, create a huge amount of investment in their networks, and in so doing, introduce 5G to the country, bring down the cost of data, and help to democratize the internet for everybody. So you should really have much faster speeds and much cheaper data. And the fact that you've got this additional spectrum actually makes their networks more efficient, which brings down the cost for Vodacom and NTN and people like that, and actually allows them then to bring down data prices as well. So this is a significant reform. It's one of Ramaphosa's key pillars of his reforms. It's been ongoing for a long time. And just to sort of really take you back, last year we did a presentation where we outlined from National Treasury some of the reforms that were in process and how that could lift potential growth. So the spectrum auction is expected to lift South Africa's potential growth rate by 0.6% a year. So that doesn't sound like very much, but if you think that we're only growing at 1% and our maximum growth rate is really 1.5%, given all the constraints around economy, this is one massive, we've removed one massive hurdle to actually getting a higher growth rate. And it's a very, very enabling technology. I mean, you can build a 5-lane highway across the country, which is equally enabling, but higher internet, faster internet, cheaper internet, is a hugely enabling technology for the country to move forward, people to create their own businesses, move online, for citizens to engage with government on a digital level, all those kind of things. So it's a very exciting day, and it's a red letter day. We've been waiting such a long time, and the fact that it's finally got over the line is great. And yes, they raised 14.4 billion, which is money that the government didn't have, so that takes the pressure off taxes. It's a win-win all round. Vodacom and MTN are happy. Telkom's happy. By the sounds of things, Rain, which is part of African Rainbow Investments, got the other majority of the spectrum. They're happy. It just seems like it's a win-win, finally.
So, Michael, you did allude to earlier that there was a little bit of a bog down with litigation. There is still a court case in early April. Is that just a tick box thing, or do you think it's really not going to have much of an effect?
Listen, Telkom are still taking a cost of the court, so there is the chance that some of this could be reversed. I think there is so much pressure on Telkom to let bygones be bygones. Some of their litigation revolved around what was called a wireless open access network, and that legislation has actually been removed from Parliament last week. So one of their key concerns has actually been withdrawn already. The other concern was about the fact that they were bidding for spectrum that wasn't actually going to be available because the analog TV signal hadn't been moved yet. I think that is also largely complete, and the mood from the industry is really just sending congratulations to ICASA on a milestone and significantly moving forward. So if it does go back to court, I think it'll be extremely disappointing, but I think there'll be an enormous amount of pressure on Telkom to drop the lawsuit. And they've actually come out with quite a lot of spectrum, so hopefully that's a little bit of a quid pro quo.
Fantastic. Well, maybe we do have some ramaphoria again as the reforms of our president do come into play. Thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget to click the subscribe button, like us so that other people see us, click the bell so that you're notified when we get a new video. And thank you for joining us. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.